Hello everyone, it's Michael Jones. Time for the Bible read, July 6th, out of First Chronicles. Hezron's son Caleb had sons from his wife Azubah, and from Jeroth her sons were named Jesher, Shobah, and Arden. After Azubah died, Caleb married Ephraith, and they had a son named Hur. Hur was the father of Uri. Uri was the father of Bezalel. When Hezron was 60 years old, he married Gilead's sister, the daughter of Machir. They had a son named Segub. Segub was the father of Jair, who ruled 23 towns in the land of Gilead. But Gesher and Aram captured the towns of Jair and also took Kenath and its 60 surrounding villages. All these were descendants of Machir, the father of Gilead. Soon after Hezron died in the town of Caleb, Ephrath, his wife, Abijah, gave birth to a son named Asher, the father of Tekoa. The son of Jermiel, the son of Hezron, were Ram, the firstborn, Bunah, Oren, Azam, and Ahijah. Jermiel had a second wife named Atara. She was the mother of Onam. The sons of Ram, the oldest son of Jermiel, were Maz, Jamin, and Eker. The sons of Onam were Shammai and Jada. The son of Shammai were Nadab and Abishur. The sons of Abishur and his wife Abihail were Aban and Molid. The sons of Nadab were Sheled and Apam. Seled died without children, but Apam had a son named Ishi. The son of Ishi was Sheshan. Sheshan had a descendant named Eli. The sons of Jada, Shammai's brother, were Jether and Jonathan. Jether died without children, but Jonathan had two sons named Peleth and Zaza. These were the descendants of Jermiel. Sheshan had no sons, though he did have daughters. He also had an Egyptian servant named Jarrah. Sheshan gave one of his daughters to be the wife of Jarrah, and they had a son named Attai. Attai was the father of Nathan. Nathan was the father of Zabad. Zabad was the father of Ephlah. Ephlah was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jew. Jew was the father of Azari. Azari was the father of Helez. Helez was the father of Elisha. Elisha was the father of Sisamai. Sisamai was the father of Shallum. Shallum was the father of Jechni, and Jemiah was the father of Elishama. The descendants of Caleb, the brother of Jermiel, included Mesha, the firstborn, who became the father of Ziph. Caleb's descendants also included the sons of Maresha, the father of Hebron. The sons of Hebron were Korah, Tapah, Rechem, Shema. Shema was the father of Ramah. Ram was the father of Jerkim. Rechem was the father of Shammai. The sons of Shammai was Mon. Mon was the father of Bethzur. Caleb's concubine Ephah gave birth to Haran, Moza, Gazez. Haran was the father of Gaziz. The sons of Jedi were Regem, Jothan, Geshen, Pelet, Ephah, and Shephah. Shaph. Another of Caleb's concubines, Mecca, gave birth to Sheber and Tirana. She also gave birth to Shaph, the father of Madonah, the Shiva, father of Machbenah and Gibi. Caleb also had a daughter named Aksah. They were all descendants of Caleb. The sons of Hur, the oldest son of Caleb's wife, Ephrath, or Shobal, founder of Kiriath Jearim; Salma, the founder of Bethlehem; and Hareph, the founder of Beth Garder. The descendants of Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, or Hero, half the Manahites, and the families of Kiriath Jearim, the Ithrites, Puthites, Shemathites, and the Misrites, from whom came the people of Zorah and Eshto. The descendants of Salama were the people of Bethlehem, the Netophathites, Atoreth, Beth Job, the other half of the Manahites, the Zorites, and the families of the scribes living at Jabez, the Tirathites, the Simathites, and the Succothites. All these were Canaanites, whose descendants from Hamath, the father of the family of Rechab. These are the sons of David who were born in Hebron. The oldest was Amnon, whose mother was Anoma from Jezreel. The second was Daniel, whose mother was Abigail from Carmel. The third was Absalom, whose mother was Maacah, the daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. The fourth was Adonijah, whose mother was Haggith. The fifth was Shaphath, whose mother was Abital. The sixth was Ithream, whose mother was Eglah, David's wife. These 6 sons were born to David in Hebron, where he reigned 7.5 years. Then David reigned another 33 years in Jerusalem. The sons born to David in Jerusalem included Shamu, Shaba, Nathan, and Solomon. Their mother was Bathsheba, the daughter of Amiel. David also had 9 other sons: Ibar, Elishu, Elphalet, Nagah, Nepeg, Japhia, Elishma, Elida, and Eliphalet. There were the sons of David, not including his sons born to the concubines. Their sisters was named Tamar. The descendants of Solomon were Rehoboam, Abijah, Asa, Jehoshaphat, Jerome, Azai, Josh, Amzai, Uzai, Jotham, Oz, Hezekiah, Manesh, Ammon, and Josiah. The sons of Josiah were Johanna, the oldest, Jehoiakim, the second, Zedekiah, the third, and Jehoaz, the fourth. The successors of Jehoiakim were his son Jehoiachin and his brother Zedekiah. The sons of Jehoiachin, who was taken prisoner by the Babylonians, were Shealtiel, Malchiram, Padai, Shenazar, Jechamiah, Hosham, and Nebai. The sons of Pedai were Zerubbabel and Shemi. The sons of Zerubbabel were Meshullam, Hananiah, and their sister was Shelomith. His 5 other sons were Ashuba, Oel, Berechi, Hasadai, and Joshabesht. The sons of Hanani were Peltai and Jeshai. Jeshai's sons were Raphi. Raphi's sons was Aran. Aran's son was Abdai. Abdai's son was Shechni. And the descendants of Shechni were Shammai and his sons Hattush, Eagle, Barai, Nerai, and Saphita, 6 in all. The sons of Nerai were Eloni, Hizkai, and Azrikam. There, and all the sons of Eloni were Hodavai, Elishib, Pelai, Akab, Johanan, Deliah, and Ani, 7 in all. The descendants of Judah were Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shubal. Shubal's son Rai was the father of Jahath, and Jahath was the father of Amai and Lahad. These were the families of the Zerethites. The descendants of Edom were Jezreel, Ishma, Ibbash, their sister, Hezelponi, Peniel, the father of Gedor, and Ezer, the father of Hushah. These were the descendants of Hur, the firstborn of the Euphrath, the ancestors of Bethlehem. And then the second part of the read is in Acts 24. Thank God for Jesus. 5 days later, Ananias, the high priest, arrived with some of the Jewish elders, the lawyer Tertullus, to present their case against Paul to the governor. When Paul was called in, Tertullus presented the charges against Paul. The following address to the governor: Your Excellency, you have provided a long period of peace for the Jews, for with foresight have enacted reforms for us. For all of this we are very grateful to you, but I don't want to bore you, so please give me your attention for only a moment. We have found this man to be a troublemaker who is constantly stirring up riots among the Jews all over the world. He is the ringleader of this cult known as the Nazarenes. Furthermore, he was trying to desecrate the temple when he was arrested. You can find out the truth of our accusations by examining him yourself. Then the other Jews chimed in, declaring that everything Tertullus said was true. The governor then motioned for Paul to speak. Paul said, I know, sir, that you have been the judge for Jews of affairs for many years, so I gladly present my defense for you. You can quickly discover that I arrived in Jerusalem no more than 12 days ago to worship at the temple. My accusers never found me arguing with anyone in the temple, nor stirring up a riot in any synagogue or on the streets of the city. These men cannot prove the things they accuse me of doing. But I admit that I follow the way which they call a cult. I worship the God of the ancestors, and I firmly believe the Jewish law, that everything written in the prophets. I have the same hope in God that these men have, that he will raise both the righteous and the unrighteous. Because of this, I always try to maintain a clear conscience before God and all the people. After several years away, I returned to Jerusalem with money to aid my people and to offer sacrifices to God. My accusers saw me in the temple as I was completing a purification ceremony. There was no crowd around me and no rioting, but some Jews from the province of Asia were there, and they ought to be here to bring charges if they have anything against me. Ask these men what crime the Jewish High Council found me guilty of, except for the one time I shouted out, I am on trial before you today because I believe in the resurrection of the dead. At the point, Felix, who was quite familiar with the way it adjourned the hearing, and he said, wait until Lysias' garrison commander arrives, then I will decide the case. He ordered an officer to keep Paul in custody, but to give him some freedom and allow his friends to visit him and take care of his needs. A few days later, Felix came back with his wife Drusilla, who was Jewish, sending for Paul. They listened as they told them about the faith in Christ Jesus, as they reasoned with them about righteousness and self-control and the coming of the judgment. Felix became frightened. Go away now, he replied. When it was more convenient, I will call for you again. He also hoped that Paul would bribe him, so that he went forward quite often. He talked with him. After 2 years went by in this way, Felix was succeeded by Porcius Festus, and because Felix wanted to gain favor with the Jewish people, he left Paul in prison. Nice. Then Psalms. Answer me when I call you, O God, who declares me innocent. Free me from my troubles. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long will you people ruin my reputation? How long will you make groundless accusations? How long will you continue your lies? You can be sure of this, the Lord set apart the godly for himself. The Lord will answer when I call to him. Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. Offer sacrifices in the right spirit and trust the Lord. Many people say, who will show us better times? Let your face smile on us, Lord. You have given me great joy, and those who have abundant harvest of grain and new wine. In peace I will lie down and asleep. For you alone, O Lord, will keep me safe. In Proverbs, giving a gift can open doors. It gives access to important people. The first to speak in court sounds right until the cross-examination begins. Flipping a coin can end arguments. It settles disputes between powerful opponents. July